alkanes today. Alkanes belong to the category of hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons is one class of organic compounds. So hydrocarbons are basically the compounds of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen. Alkanes have a general formula of CnH2n plus 2, where n can be anything like any whole number, 1, 2, etc. So when n is 1, so I put n as 1, so it would be CH4. When n is 2, the compound would be C2H6. When n is 3, then it is C3H8. Okay, so these are the members of the same family. Now, what is there is like, since there are so many hydrocarbons or so many alkanes, so we need a systematic way of naming them. Systematic naming. So that naming is designed by International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So systematic names, it helps us in naming the organic compounds. Systematic names or IUPAC names. IUPAC names. So when you have one carbon, you use the prefix meth. When you have two carbons, you use eth. When you have three carbons, you use prop. When you have four carbons, you have but, 5 pent. And since it is an alkane, so the suffix is ane in all the cases. So methane, ethane, propane, butane. So this is how you name them. For 5 we use pent, for 6 we use hexane, for 7 we use heptane, for 8 we use octane, for 9 we use nonane, for 10 we use decane, and so forth. So for naming the alkanes, there are certain rules. So we need to understand those rules and apply them, practice them, and that way you can learn those rules. So first is, we should look for the longest chain in an organic, in the case of alkane, choose the longest chain. Okay, so for example, if I say this is the molecule, okay, I can start numbering it, okay, from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got a longest chain of 6 carbons. Okay, now let's go for some other type of the numbering. Say we can use some other color for that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you can go from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that is 5 carbons only. So if we go into that direction, we are getting 6 carbons. If we go in that direction, we are getting 5 carbons. Is there any other possibility? Let's explore. If we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this gives us 7 carbons in one chain. So the green one is the preferred one. Okay, so since this chain contains 7 carbons, how would we name it? We'll name it as hep. So it's a category of heptane, but not, but there are other substituents also. By substituents, we mean the branches which are coming out of. So this is the chain. Everything else is a substituent. So these are substituents. Okay. So at what place are those substituents? They are connected at the 4th carbon. So these substituents, which are not the part of the chain, because the chain is the one which I have numbered in green. So this is the chain. Fine. This is the chain. So the substituents are connected at 4th carbon. Okay, so these are the substituents. They are connected to the 4th carbon. And so 4th carbon, they connected at 4th carbon. And what is their identity? Their identity is like they have 2 carbons. So when you have 2 carbons, you use the prefix eth. Okay, and for substituents, we don't say ethane, we use the word ethyl. So 4,4-dimethyl, because there are 2 times ethyl is there. 4,4-diethyl heptane, 4,4 diethyl heptane. Fine. So this is how you name them. Looking for the longest chain, that is the step 1. Okay, so we can do another example. So suppose you have a molecule like, so I'm now using the bond line notations. So you have a molecule, suppose like this, and every corner represents a carbon, and all of them, they are saturated because they are alkanes. Okay, so suppose this is a molecule. Now let's try to find out the longest chain. We can use this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there are 10 in one. Is there any other way? Let's see. Can we start from this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, if we go onto this side with the green one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's also giving me 9. So which one is the correct one? Yellow one is the correct one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we will look into the substituents. So this is the longest chain. We'll look into the substituents. Which are the substituents? This is the substituent. This is the substituents. These are the substituents. And we will, in the name, we will tell that the substituent. So yellow one is the correct one. Yellow numbering is the correct one. So while writing the name, we will see that at what place. So at 5th place, the substituent is there. What type of the substituent is that? It has 2 carbons, so we'll say 5-ethyl. And at 6th position, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6-butyl. And about the 7th one, you have methyl. And at 9th, again, you have methyl. Right? This is how you name them. Now you have so many substituents. Now, which one should be the first one to name? Which one should not be the first one? How to determine that? So we know that for substituents we use the word "-yl", like butyl, propyl, heptyl, etc. But how to arrange them? So to arrange them in the name, we need to follow the alphabetical naming. Alphabetical, we name them in the alphabetical order, in the way, like if you have methyl, so and ethyl. So if there is a tie between methyl and ethyl, you will go for methyl. Ethyl, sorry. You'll go for ethyl. Okay. So let's write down. At 5 you have ethyl. At 6 you have butyl. At 7 you have methyl. And at 9 also you have methyl. Okay. And it is a 10 carbon chain. So you will be using decane. Okay. So alphabetically, butyl should come first. So 6-butyl. Fine. 6-butyl. Then next is ethyl. 5-ethyl. Then 7,9-dimethyl decane. This is how you name it. Okay. And don't get confused that since I've used di, so you need not to look at its di, tri, etc. when comparing them on the alphabetical order. You have to compare between methyl, butyl, ethyl. This is just a number to denote the how many of them they are there. Fine. Now, this was about the alphabetical ordering, longest chain. Then name them in the alphabetical order. And you should also be, like, if you have, suppose, a compound. Suppose you have a compound like this. Okay. I have a methyl group here. So you can number it. You can number it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can number it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In both the cases, it is the longest chain. It is always 8. But if I go by green, my methyl group, which is the substituent in this case, this methyl group is at 7th position. But if I go by the pink one, the methyl group is at 2nd position. So we should go for that type of the numbering which gives the substituents the lowest possible number. So pink one here is the correct one. Why? Because it is the methyl group's 2nd number. So 2-methyl octane. Fine. So that is the correct one. Fine. Now, suppose I have a molecule like this, wherein I have a methyl group here, a methyl group here, and then I have a methyl group here. Okay. So suppose I start numbering it. So what ways I can number it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fine. So 7 carbons. So if I take another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So with pink, my substituents are getting the number 2, 3, and 6. Okay. And with the green one, my substituents are getting the numbers 2, 5, and 6. So which one should I go for? I would go for the lowest one, 2, 3, 6. Fine. So that is the correct one. The pink one is the correct one, and the green one is not the correct one. Fine. Now, if you have a cyclic alkane in it, so you add the word cyclo to the name. So it has 3 carbons, 1, 2, 3. So you say cyclopropane. On similar lines, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, etc. Okay. So suppose you have a cyclopropane, to which, so it is methyl cyclopropane, because this is a methyl group which is attached to CH3 group, which is attached to the ring. So you will name it as methyl cyclopropane. Fine. Now, and you need not to number it, because when there is only one substituent, so you can just say methyl cyclopropane. That's it. Okay. Now suppose you have this. How would you name it? It is methyl cyclobutane. Fine. Now suppose you have 2 methyls at 1 carbon. So you will give that one which has more number of substituents the lowest possible number. So it is 1, 1, because there are 2 methyl groups on the first carbon. So 1, 1, 2, trimethyl and cyclobutane. Fine. So this is how you name the cycloalkanes. Fine. Now suppose you have this molecule. So you try to name this molecule and share your answer in the comments. Okay, what is the systematic name of this one? Now there are bicyclic compounds as well, that we will cover in the next video. Thank you.